Hello, can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Please affirm to me that you can hear me. Just let me know that you can see me. Oh, wow. Thank God. Hello, speaking of food. Hi, cakes and pastries. Hey, Dial Cake. Please let me know that you can see me and you can hear me. Please affirm to me that you can see me and you can. Oh, fantastic. Thank you. Whew, thank you. I've been trying to, network has been networking, but we thank the Lord that I'm finally here. So let me bring in my guest very quickly. Welcome everyone. I'm excited today because I'm hosting an unusual guest. What I call August guest. Hi, Kawe.
Hi. Good evening, my sister. How now? Okay.
I'm fine, ma'am.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, we're here. Thank you so much for holding
It
up with all the
happens. It
network
happens. We are
issues.
used to
Thank you
these
so
things.
much.
But it shouldn't be.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
ma'am. Yes. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Live Again series. In here, we help women live again. So if you're a man, you will enjoy some of the things we are going to be sharing, right? But basically, this is supposed to help you live again in different aspects of life. And my name is Emi Fome. I'm the founder of the Live Again movement. We help broken, abused, and distressed women live again. We also have a shelter where we house some of these women. But today I have the phenomenal, the amazing, the effervescent, the distinguished Ambassador Doctor Mrs Unyime King. Oh my goodness. Let me introduce her quickly. She is a multifaceted individual with a wealth of experience across various domains. She is a co-founder of Protection Plus Services Limited, a private security maritime and logistics company whose headquarters is in Lagos State, Nigeria. Following the passing of her husband, purpose and business partner, Dr. Ubong King, in December 2020, she has assumed the role of chairman of the business, steering it towards continued success with the help of a seasoned team of professionals despite her profound loss. She also co-founded the Ubong King Foundation with her late husband, organizing the impactful annual event that we all know, Think Asian, which educates and inspires budding entrepreneurs and young minds. A prolific writer, esteemed conference speaker, certified marriage mentor slash relationship coach, grief and loss counselor, and a mental health and addiction therapist, Ambassador Doctor Unyime King's passion for writing has showcased in notable publications such as TW Magazine, Vanguard Newspaper Limited, Security and Safety Magazine, Green Pastures Limited, Green Pastures Magazine, I beg your pardon, and more. She spearheads transformative initiatives aimed at empowering young girls and women through entrepreneurial skills under the banner of the Save Our Women Girls Foundation, which she formally inaugurated in 2016. Her dedication to empowering women, nurturing future leaders, and fostering positive change exemplifies her unwavering commitment in creating a brighter future for all. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome my esteemed guest. I'm so excited because if I ever doubted that God wanted his daughters to live again, when you said yes, you're coming on the series, I said yes, God really wants it because God really, really, really wants it. And I just
You're
want to say thank you, ma'am.
welcome.
Thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming.
Thank
Thank
you
you for saying yes.
too.
You've always been a supporter of the work that we do at the Live Again movement and
You're
foundation.
welcome.
Thank you so, so much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take it away. So this is the Live Again series. Like I said, we help women, we help people live again. Basically, on this series, we're going to be sharing practical steps to help you live again in different aspects of your life. You're going to find something to hold on to. So I'm going to quickly run to my questions that I have for you, ma'am. And the first question is, What does the term live again mean to you? What does the
Okay.
term live again mean to
Thank
you?
you very much, Ni. For me, I'm very happy to be here on this session with you, despite the hiccups that we had with the network.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for inviting me on.
Honestly.
The term "live again" is really it's self-explanatory. You know, when we talk about living again, what comes to mind? At least what came to my own mind was resurgence, revival. That's what came to my mind because it could refer to something or somebody who is experiencing a resurgence or a revival. For instance, if you have a project that was dormant and then you inject new energy and vitality into that project and it comes alive. And it could also refer to overcoming adversity, you know, if you apply it to a personal context, you know, live again might relate to someone who has experienced challenges or setbacks, and the person takes a quality decision after a while that they need to rebuild their life and they don't want to stay in that
Hmm.
cocoon of um, challenges, of, like in my own case, loss. You don't want to stay in that corner. You want to live again and live with vitality. It signals a return of hope, you know, of joy after a period of difficulty.
Hmm.
So that's what my own understanding of live again is. Yeah.
Hmm. Wow. Wow, we're in for an amazing time today because what
Mm,
kind of, oh my God, resurgence, revival, new energy. And that's what God put in my heart when He
mm,
told me to organize the Live Again outreach. He said it's time for revival. It's time for His daughters to rebuild the
mm,
desolations of many generations. And
yeah.
I shared the vision I had with you of women who were
Mm,
walking and wearing suits, and a lot of women were walking and they were walking like
mm,
vampires, like zombies.
mm,
And I'm like, what is this? So we have many women that have gone through adversity,
mm,
but they've not been able to bounce back from it. Many of them, like you said, are in a
yeah.
cocoon. That cocoon, they are just wrapped
Of
up and
hurt,
immersed in what they are
trauma,
going
you
through,
know, yeah.
that they're not even
Pain.
able.
Mm,
Yeah, they're
mm,
not able to even come
yeah.
out of it. Many of them are just
Mm,
there. They don't even know.
mm,
So they are there for
mm,
years. Years. They've just been there. Like it's a world that they have built around themselves and
mm,
become comfortable in, because they don't want to, they don't have the strength sometimes to actually, come out of it, or for whatever reason. So I like when
mm,
you use the word cocoon, because I feel like
yeah.
cocoon is something
Yeah.
that hides somebody
Mm,
sometimes. It covers
mm,
somebody up. It blocks some
mm,
things and some
yeah.
people, and there's a lot
You're
to pack
in
from that
taste. Yeah.
cocoon thing.
Mm,
And I
mm,
like that word. Yeah, I like that word that you used. It's very profound. And it also means that sometimes for a woman to live again, or for a
mm,
person to live again after adversity, it might take
yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
removing
Sometimes
or
you
breaking
you
out
need
that
that help.
cocoon for the
You need
person
that
to
help to
actually,
come out of that
yeah,
encasing, you know, to really live again. You need that external force
yeah,
sometimes because
to,
adversity could become
mm,
complex. And when it becomes really complex, you don't see a way out. You feel that, okay, this thing that has happened to me, there's
mm,
no way I can come out of it. There's no way I can survive this thing. And then you lock up, slide into depression, and life just becomes totally, something different from what you had
mm,
envisaged. So at that point, you need help. You need an external help. Could be a person, could be something you have, an information you have encountered to be able to come out of
mm.
that space that you have put yourself, that corner that you have locked up yourself, and you have felt that, okay, nothing good can come out of my life anymore. And that's a lie of the devil. That's absolutely not correct. No matter the loss, no matter the pain, no matter the trauma, you can come out of it and live a meaningful and significant life like God designed you to. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, you can live again, no matter how long, no matter
Mm-hmm.
how thick the cocoon is, no matter
Mm-hmm.
how complex the adversity is,
Yeah,
you
sure.
can actually
Sure.
live again. Wow. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that, Ma. You also mentioned live again
Mm-hmm.
signals to you rebuilding,
Mm.
rebuilding. It's a
Yeah.
rebuilding. It's a rebuilding. It's a
Yeah.
signal of a return of hope after a
Yeah.
period of difficulty. I've come to announce to
Yes. So.
somebody that it's time to live again. I've
Mm-hmm.
come to be that voice of
Mm.
hope to you. Whoever is listening to
Yeah.
us, it is time. That thing that you went through is
Yeah.
valid, but you
You
can't
can't
stay
afford to.
there. You
Mm.
can't.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
you can't. You can't stay there. There's so many lives that are tied to you. I mean, reading your profile, and I'm seeing, when we're talking the other day on the phone, and you were talking about this work that you do with women and all of that. I mean, if, for example, when you lost your dear husband, and you said to yourself that, you know what, I'm just going to be in a cocoon, what will happen to all these girls? What will happen to
What
these
will even
women?
happen
What will
to
happen
the
to
business? We're running
everyone?
a thriving business that caters to
The business, your
hundreds of families. What would
children.
have happened? You know? So many things would have gone wrong if I decided to stay in a corner and just grieved endlessly. Of course, like I always say, grief is a lifelong process. It's something that you sometimes you feel okay,
Yes.
you feel as if
Mm,
you can take on the whole world, and then the next second you're feeling so down and depressed and all of that. But you don't have to dwell in that space. You don't have to dwell in that place. So I had to pick
mm,
myself up. I had to tell myself, give myself reasons for wanting to go on. And for me, at that point, the most important reason for me at the time were my children. I looked at my four young children and I said, if
yeah.
nothing else, I owe it to these children to ensure that not only do I survive this loss, I would also thrive and ensure that their dreams will not
Thrive. Yeah.
come to an end
Mm,
just because they lost their dad. And I told my children at that point, I said, look,
mm,
whatever you desire to be in life, you can become it. It doesn't matter if your father is no longer in the
mm.
picture. God is a father of all fathers, and He's
Yes.
interested in everything that has to do with
Yes.
you. So I had to take that decision
Yes.
after a while. Because when my husband passed, it was like a hit from the blind side. It was something that was totally so
Mm,
unexpected. It was a rude shock to all of us. And it's something that if I had not leaned on God, because I couldn't do anything in my own strength and power. And I'm always very careful to point that out because I'm a Christian and I strongly believe in my walk with God. So I knew that this was
mm.
something that only God could show up for me and the children. And I decided to trust Him in that season. And God came through. God came through for me. There's stuff that has happened to me in this season that some I don't even want to talk about it yet. An older friend of mine said to me while crying when she listened to some of the things that had happened, she said, look, Ivy, you're not going to write a book of your encounter only. You're going to do a movie of your life. Because there are things that have happened that when I look back, I ask myself, how? How did I jump over these hurdles, to be able to live again? Because I tell women and I tell anybody who cares to listen, before I became Mrs. Unyime Ubong King, before I got married to Ubong King, I was Unyime Ivy King Unyime Ivy that God sent to earth on a mission with a purpose. And that purpose doesn't end when you get married. It doesn't end if the marriage is no more. That purpose is there speaking strongly if you can dare to give it expression. So I had to trust God that my life was not over because my husband had passed. I had to trust God that there was still more ahead for me. And so many challenges. I looked at the business. There were so many people that we had trusted with the business that had betrayed that trust. A lot of things. And the easier thing at that point, when my husband passed, would have been for me to just close shop. Sell off everything. And people advised me. They
Yeah,
said, sell off
closing.
all the
Mm,
assets, sell off everything, take your children, relocate abroad. And I said, look, this vision that Ubong King and I birthed, it would have been a different case if we got married at a point where, okay, he was already high up there and then I just came in to join or something. But this is a vision, this is a dream
mm.
that we built from the floor together. we slept on the floor together. At some point in our lives, we're only eating beans and okra because those were the cheapest things to cook that you will not need much, you know. So I know the efforts, I know and I'm a part of the whole process. So I said, no, I cannot just allow these things that God has used us to birth, you know, to go down the drain because tragedy has happened. I will be disappointing myself. I will be disappointing God. I will be disappointing the memory of my husband, who was a go-getter, who pushed himself and pushed me, and together we pushed in all the ways that we did to impact the families. I looked at the business, I looked at the hundreds of families that are connected to that business, and I said, if I close shop and I go away, what happens to all these people? Yes, good and fine. Some of them, they'll go and get jobs and all of that, you know. But I didn't want to give up that cheaply. So I decided to partner with God in this season of my life to ensure that those dreams that He wanted to birth through us would come alive, that they will not just be in the cocoon that we're talking about. Yeah.
Wow. At this point, I just need to clap. I just need to clap because, you know, sometimes when things
Yeah.
like this are
It's
said, it
not
looks
at all.
easy,
It's
but it's
not.
not. I always
Mm.
tell people that living
It
again
takes
is not
courage. It
easy.
takes
It's very
courage.
far
It takes
from easy.
courage. And it
It
takes God.
takes
It takes God.
courage.
Mm.
it
Mm.
takes God indeed, because the
At all.
challenges do not stop. On the live again
They
journey, challenges are
are like
something you
daily
should
food. They
expect.
are like daily food.
So
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
you should
Mm.
expect it and not be phased
Mm.
that when they come, you say, oh, you know, you mentioned something, you said you decided not to give up just like that. I think sometimes is the when we see, you know, there's this saying that says, don't tell
Mm.
God about your problem. You don't
Mm. I
tell
think I know what.
what did they used to say it again?
Mm.
Tell God about your
Yes,
problem
yes,
and don't talk
yes. I
to.
think I know
There's a
that
way they
saying.
say it,
Mm.
but you know, sometimes we see, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we see a mountain and we're looking at that thing
Mm.
and it becomes bigger and bigger. But when we look
Mm.
at God and we focus on God, that mountain, that
Exactly.
problem
Because what you
becomes
focus
smaller
on is what
in the
you
sight
amplify.
of
So if
God.
you focus on the problems, all
It
you're going to see
expands,
is problems.
yes.
Yes. When you
It will
focus on
expand.
solutions, on God, you're going to see possibilities. I had to take my focus off the
Hmm.
things that were happening because a lot did happen. It was one challenge after the other, from family challenges to business to, it was just a whole lot. It was as if, you know, when it rains, it pours.
Back
So
to
it was
back.
one thing after the other.
Hmm.
And I had to hold on to God in that season, in this season of my life. And I'm still holding on to Him because every day when you think that you have overcome one thing, another thing rears its head. Yes.
Another
And
one shows
I
up.
strongly believe that as long as one is still breathing, challenges are a normal part of life until the only people who
Normal.
do not have
They're normal.
challenges are the people in the grave. They are peace. They are
Yes,
dead already.
that are dead
But as
already.
long as life
Yeah.
abounds, there will always be one challenge or the other. And
Mm.
for me, I think it also is something that helps you not rely on your own strength, not rely on your own abilities, no matter how
Yes.
intelligent,
Yes.
connected, brilliant you think you are. There's something that will hit you that without the help of God, you just crumble, you just go under. So life was
Honestly.
designed in such a way that we perpetually
Honestly.
need God. We cannot do without Him in our lives. Yeah.
Hmm. Hi, God. Oh, this. Oh my goodness, this has been amazing. Life was designed in such a way that we
Yeah.
perpetually need God. The day that we
Mm.
decide that we don't need God, that's the day
Mm-hmm.
that we become walking dead. I remember when
Mm.
Dunsin sang a particular song titled "To Know You." He said, "Any life that is without God, any life that is lived outside God, is
Mm.
a life that is not living." And this is not
Mm-hmm.
we're not turning this place into a church or trying
Yeah.
to impose beliefs on you, but the truth of the
Mm.
matter is that you can't live again
Yeah.
without God, because the Bible says in Him
Yeah.
was life,
Yeah.
and that life was the life of men. He is
Mm-hmm.
the resurrection and the life. If something was dead, or something was knocked down, or something was dormant, and you want life to come in, the only way is with God. Except that life that is coming in is a fake life, is not the real thing. If it has to be life, it has to be God, because God is the orchestrator of life. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing. I took note of some other things. You said you gave yourself reasons to go on. You gave yourself reasons. I think sometimes when you are in a difficult situation or a painful situation, you need to find the reasons to go on. If you are somebody who has children, please, I beg you, stop. Don't be so quick to accept whatever problems life has brought you. There is more to you. You can live again. And if you don't live again, your children observe you existing, and they learn it. They copy it. They just take it as this is how life is. Once something happens, just give up. And they begin to be those kind of people that are not resilient. They just grow up into, what we call fenele in Nigeria.
You're the first example for your children, because when your children see you handle adversity, it also helps them to know that, look, adversity doesn't have to be fatal. Just because something bad happened, it doesn't mean that this defines my life. Because one of the things that I did in this season of loss was that I ensured that the communication lines with my children remain open. It's not something that we started building because their father died. We have worked on our communication patterns for years. Even when my husband was still around, every single day, except we're not in town, both of us, they will come into our rooms. And, apart from everything, I'm a writer. So I have different, if you come to my room, you see all sorts of devotionals. And we'll take that devotionals and we read it with the children. Of course, there will be so many concepts and ideas, and we discuss it. And in the process of discussing it, you can now hear what they are saying. You can debunk myths if they share something that is not in line with the values of your family. And the children also, they need to understand your values as a family and also grow along those lines. So I kept drumming it into their heads that yes, daddy may not be here anymore, but we are here. And because we are here, there's so much more that God wants to do with us. And in fact, it's amazing because when you invest time, communicating with your children, talking to them, teaching them the word, and also allowing them to talk back, the dividends you will see in a time that you don't even expect. And for me, I saw the dividends in this season of loss because my children became like, in fact, at some point I had to tell them that, look, I had to remind them, I said, I'm your mother, I'm not your child. Because they were so
Exactly. They
honestly, the
became
way
a
they
source of
were
strength.
all over carrying me, not literally, not in the carrying me up, encouraging me. They're the ones encouraging me. They said, Daddy would have wanted us to take care of you. And it was just amazing. It was just amazing. So I saw them display that inner strength in this season in a way that I didn't
Inner
think
strength.
possible. Even it was as serious as during the funeral, the homegoing ceremonies. The children did not, I don't know how to put it, they were so composed. We had sessions where we talked about their father, and I encouraged them to talk. We'll talk about him, we'll share funny things that we remember about him, we'll laugh about some of the things that he used to do. And in the process, maybe somebody begins to cry. I let them know that it is okay to cry. There's nothing
It's
wrong with
all
expressing your emotions because
absolutely.
look, what happened was a tragedy,
Yes.
So we encourage each other to express our emotions and not bottle up, because if you bottle up the emotions when of the challenges that you're facing because you want to present a